Okay, so let's look at questions and how to make questions with the verb do and does. Okay, these verbs do and does. One verb, two different forms, right? So at the top here I have what we call these, okay? So do and does is an auxiliary verb. That just means it helps, okay? It helps the other verb. So we have a verb here, one verb here, the auxiliary verb, and the other verb right here, another verb, okay? So do, drive, does, play, do, walk. These are for questions, okay? Questions. Then we need a subject between them. We need a subject. And over here we have usually a prepositional phrase. Sometimes we have an adverb or we have maybe more verbs. It just depends on what our predicate phrase is going to be, okay? Okay, so let's look at some questions and how to make questions with the verb do. So you can see on the board behind me that I have some different words to use with do, specifically up here, like auxiliary verb, subject, verb, and prepositional phrase. So our auxiliary verb is what we can call a helping verb. It helps the other verb. So do and does helps this verb. So we need to have a verb here and a verb here. So do, drive, does, play, do, walk, does, swim. And between them, we have our subjects. So we end up with, do you drive? Does she play? Do they walk? Does he swim? So it creates a question. Do, subject, and then our other verb. So do, subject, verb. This makes us understand it's a question. Otherwise, it's a statement, okay? So let's look at that. Like, if I don't have, so we have to have those in that order so that it is a question. If I remove the auxiliary verb, okay, if I remove it, it becomes a statement, not a question when we are finished with questions. I'll show you what happens when we remove that auxiliary verb, okay? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at building this question here and making it sound correct. So, okay, so let's look at making questions with do and does. One verb, two forms. So we need to have a structure. The structure of our question, right? We have all of these questions and we need a structure for questions. Now, what I have here is an auxiliary verb, the subject, a verb, and a prepositional phrase, okay? This would be one of the best orders for questions. This is how we start, especially auxiliary verb, subject, verb. After that, this can maybe be different. It can be something different, maybe an adverb or maybe some more verbs, okay? So right now, we just need to have, do you drive? Do you drive? Yes, no. Does she play? Does she play? Yes, no. Do they walk? Do they walk? No, they run. Does she swim? No, she sinks. So maybe we can add more information here. We want to add a little more information by having a prepositional phrase. So not just do you drive, but do you drive to work? Where? Right? This tells me where I want this information. Do you drive to work? Yes, no, right? Yes, I drive to work. No, I take the bus to work. Does she play? Does she play in the rain? No, she doesn't play in the rain. She uses an umbrella. Do they walk? Do they walk in the park? Ah, yes, they walk in the park. They don't walk on the beach. They don't walk in the forest. Does she swim? Does she swim? Yes, she swims. Does she swim in the sea? No, she doesn't swim in the sea, okay? So we use the preposition to get more information. The last one's here. Do your parents sit on the floor? Do your parents sit on the floor? Yes, they sit on the floor. No, they don't sit on the floor. Does your friend work for a bank? Or in a bank maybe, or for a bank, it just depends. And do your teachers, many teachers, right? Do they clean under their desks? Next time you're in class, look under a teacher's desk to see if they clean under it. Okay, so my answers to these questions, I want to answer my own questions here. So, do you drive to work? Do you drive to work? Yes, I do, and no, I don't. These are my two short answers. I can say, yes, I do drive to work. But most likely I would say, yes, I do. Right? Yes, I do. Or no, I don't. No, I don't drive to work. No, I don't. So we make them short. Remember, I think I described this in Module 1. We make things shorter. Another correct answer here, yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. Again, the short form. Does she swim in the sea? Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. She doesn't swim in the sea. Okay, a little longer, but we can shorten it, say, no, she doesn't. So I do have some wrong answers over there, okay? Some ways that people make mistakes, and you can see I put little X's on there to let you know this is a mistake, okay? Don't say these things. So let's see, does he swim, right? Does he swim? No, he don't, right? He don't. Remember, you still have to use doesn't, not don't. So if the question uses does, okay? If my question uses does, right? Does he? I should listen does, okay? Does he? He doesn't, not don't, okay? Don't use don't, use doesn't. Again here, they not. This is incorrect, okay? The reason, we need a verb. Right? They not, there's no verb. Where's my auxiliary verb? They not what? Okay? I need some like they are not, they do not, they cannot, whatever it is, I need some sort of verb right here. I need a verb there. Otherwise it's not a sentence. They don't sit. So this question here, do your parents, right? Do your parents sit on the floor? They don't sit. Well, it's not what I asked. I didn't ask if they sit. I ask, do they sit on the floor? So you can't say they don't sit. You can say they don't, right? They don't. That's okay. Because then you answered my question. They don't sit on the floor. But if you say they don't sit, it makes me wonder like, oh, what do you mean they don't sit? They don't sit on the floor, they don't sit in a chair. Well, where don't they sit? So make sure that you use the short form or the long form. She doesn't. So I can't just say she doesn't. Notice here, yes, right? Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. So right there, I would need no, right? No, she doesn't. No, they do. This next one. So the example here, do your teachers clean under their desks? No, they do. This again, it's like no, yes, no, no, or yes. Okay, so you have to decide: is it no or is it yes? You can't say no, they do, or yes, they don't, because it's confusing, and you want to make sure that it's one message. One message: no, they don't. Yes, they do. Not yes, they don't. So let's look at some common mistakes that students often make. Okay, so let's clean off our board. Oh wait, I forgot. I was going to show you that when we remove these, they stop being questions. Okay, I erase all those. Okay, if I erase all those, it becomes a statement. So it's no more a question. Okay, it's now, right? It is now a statement. We understand, it's like, okay, you drive to work. You drive to work. Different, do you drive to work? Ah, it's a question. Okay, they walk in the park. That's good. They walk in the park. Do they walk in the park? Ah, it's a question, okay? So we have to make sure that we understand when it's a question. When it's a question, we need auxiliary verbs. If we don't use auxiliary verbs, it's a statement, okay? It's a statement. All right, so let's look at some of those common mistakes. You can make many mistakes even at this level with this grammar. So let's take a look and correct some mistakes, okay? Let's look at each one, okay? And each one has a mistake. We don't want to say this. So he don't like the film. He don't like the film. Why don't we say he don't, right? He don't? He does. Okay, so this is our first mistake. We want to make sure that we use the correct form, doesn't. We want to use doesn't there instead of he don't like the film. So make sure that you use doesn't or does for those one-person singulars. He doesn't going. He doesn't going. I actually hear many students say this one. Many students will say he doesn't going. But after doesn't, we only need the simple form. So we get rid of going, right? He doesn't go. He doesn't go to the cinema, not he doesn't going. We will learn a progressive form later on, the ing later. That's module 11, okay? They not eat meat. They not eat meat. Well, my problem here is I don't have my auxiliary verb, my helping verb, right? So I need to put in my little helping verb right there. They do not. They do not eat meat, okay? So make sure that you use a verb, they do not. They don't eat meat. So it becomes all one. They don't eat meat, okay? The next one that I have here, we know have a key for our room, okay? Why don't you have an auxiliary for your sentence? So again, same thing that we have here. We want to put do and here not, do not, okay? No is how I respond, right? Not is an adverb that I add to my auxiliary, okay? Does you play piano? Does you play? Does you? Well, with me, I use do, right? Do you? Do you? Okay. So do you? Does you? No, not does you. Do you? So we need to get rid of that es, okay? We don't need that es there. Does she wears? Does she wears glasses? So glasses right here, yes? So she wears glasses. That would be correct to say she wears glasses. but it's not correct, okay? This is not correct to say, does she wears? Does she wears? No, that's not right because I have my ES here. I have my ES there. I don't need an ES here, so I need to get rid of my S, okay? Does she wear? Does she wear glasses? We are going to learn about more verbs. So let me quickly explain the rule for verbs and with does, because in the next module, module number three, you're going to learn many new verbs because we need to practice do and does and is and are and all our other verbs. Okay, so let me talk to you quickly about ES and S with verbs.